Hello everybody, this is JD. Not much time left for me. If you're wondering what you're looking at, I broke my arm a couple weeks ago. I finally can wear a shirt, so I thought I'd make a video. You know, I was walking around in one of our store membership chains, and I was looking at the individual coffee pot, Craig 2.0. Then I remembered seeing a lot of its TV commercials. Promises a much better system than the original one. It gives a lot of promises of giving you the perfect cup of coffee. It promises you all kinds of things. The only problem with it is they put a sensor in there that if you don't use the right Craig coffee thing, it won't work. It won't use other brands that you may like. It won't allow you to make the coffee from other different providers unless they have the Craig symbol on it. So you have to do exactly what they want to get a cup of coffee, which may not be exactly what you want. But they promise you so much more. But you have to settle for what they will let you have, because that's the way their system's set up. I'm thinking of going back and buying the original Craig so that I can use the other coffee mixtures that I like much better than the ones that Craig has. Some other ones I like better. Sorry, I just like them better. And they're not available with the Craig symbol on it. I buy the Craig coffee pot to make a cup of coffee, not to buy Craig coffee. Now, why am I talking to you about this? Because I've been listening to the Republicans and Democrats and what they're saying. And they're doing the same thing that this manufacturer's doing, making you all kinds of promises. But yet, once you get stuck with them, they get elected. You get what they give you, and you better be happy with it. You don't have a choice to choose what you want anymore. You really don't have a say into what you believe in. It's the political parties that will decide what you. I mean, it gets to the point where you have to literally threaten them by saying you will not vote for them ever again. Then they might listen to you. Now, I've been listening to all these promises everybody's been making. Not a single one of them I could figure out to be free. When they came with the annual budget, 2-year budget, didn't they have to raise the debt ceiling? Didn't they have to raise the amount of money that the Congress can borrow to pay for the programs? But people, your own taxes are paying interest to other countries. Your hard-earned money is used to pay interest that our Congress keeps borrowing, that our president keeps allowing. And you listen to the candidates, oh, I mean, especially some of them. They had the very best, the most outstanding, the most terrific, the largest military. That costs us money, big time. Of course, we could improve that a little bit if these manufacturers Instead of, let me give you one example. A particular hatchet, roofing hatchet, at a hardware store was $35 and change. This is several years ago. It's about 50 now. But to buy that hatchet through the Navy system, it was $350 some dollars. The exact same hatchet by the exact same manufacturer. Why? Worked on an aircraft that had an $800, I believe it was an $800 ashtray. And that was what they charged to install it in the plane. That same ashtray, cigarette ashtray, was $45 in town, and you could mount it inside your car, or your truck, or your camper. The exact same one, spring-loaded top and everything. The difference between the two is the 41 you could have got in the navy gray, you could have got it in brown, you could have got it in black, and I think there was even some two-tones. Why? I don't know. But they're promising us so much more. And people, every cent more comes out of your pocket, not theirs. It's easy to spend other people's money. I can only make 3 promises to you. 1, to bring your word, your feelings, what you want from the federal government to Washington, D.C. 2, to ensure that Congress starts understanding that they are to serve you, the American people. Not special interest groups, not the elite rich, not special organizations, not lobbyists especially. And especially those main lobbyists in Congress, you know, the Republican Party and Democrat Party, they're nothing but lobbyists. And 3, to bring leadership. When I make a decision, I will accept the responsibility for the decision I made. Like when I went up on that ladder, and I had Ray, my neighbor, go to turn the switch away from holding the ladder, and then the ladder slipped off from under me. I fell, broke my arm. That was my decision. Why my arm is broken. It's my responsibility. Nobody else's. Hey, I'm the one that told an individual to go turn the switch off and on. And while doing that, I got a little nervous, shook the ladder, and stoop. It was me, my decision, my responsibility. And I got a broken arm. But people, there's a lot more that our nation needs. We need to handle major, real problems. Let me use one for you. Example, immigration. I like that one because when I talk to people, it's such a confusing answer. Some people out there, many of you, hire illegal aliens. Some because that's the only people you can get to the jail. Others because you can pay them under the table and you don't have to pay all that paperwork for taxes, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and all that. So you're robbing from each and every other American citizen by not paying that, because that money that you're not paying is not going in, so it's going somewhere. It's either going to the illegal alien or it's going in your pocket. Mostly you're so underpaying them that it's going into your pocket. That's my opinion. Now, talking with a bunch of people, I get a conflict. Basically, it falls into two groups. One is we need them in this country because I need to hire them. I need them to do jobs that the average American won't do or cannot do because they don't have the ability to do the job. Also, you hear you hear others who say they are a burden onto our welfare system, our education system, and our social programs. Yes, some are. Those are the problems that need to be handled, and they need to be addressed and fixed. Not go with a big net, gather up 11 million people, and send them back across the border. That's not going to work, and it's not going to happen. Congress doesn't have the ability to do that, and many states do not agree with that. That's why you got what is called haven cities. Then how can you fix the real problem? Well, we have another problem that our country deals with too, and it's the taxation system. It's so out of balance, it's so messed up that it's not even near what it should be. Actually, by addressing both those problems, immigration, illegal immigrants, and the taxation together, you can actually fix all the problems within those two. Go with the sales tax. Get rid of the income tax, get rid of the death tax, get rid of a bunch of other, not like tariffs and stuff, but get rid of the others. And go with a straight sales tax. Some people call it fair tax, some people call it another tax, this tax, that tax. Go with a straight sales tax. Anybody buys anything, they pay the tax. It doesn't matter whether they're a legal alien or they're the richest citizen in this country. They all will pay the sales tax. So then the illegal aliens will be contributing to the programs that they are also using, just like every other American in this country. And we will fix many of the taxation problems that we have within this country. But then we need a Congress that's got the guts to take hold of our nation and give the people what they want instead of what the political parties want, what the rich want. We need a Congress that listens to you, the people. But we need a president that will cause that to happen. We need a president who will follow his boss instructions and lead the nation in the direction that his boss wants this nation to go. We need a president who understands that the people of this nation is his boss. So people, I'm just having a nice talk with you. Like I said, I'm giving you 3 promises. 1, to bring your voice to Washington, D.C. So if I go campaigning, which right now it does not look like it's going to happen, if I go campaigning, I want you to tell me what it is that you want from the federal government. I want you to tell me how you feel so I can help you and I correct these problems. Congress must learn to serve the will of the people, not the special interest groups, not the minority groups, not this group, not that group, not the political parties, not other entities outside the wall. And I will bring you leadership. Remember, you, the people, are the masters of our government. And you must keep things where they need to be. Now, I see something the other day that was very, very, very interesting. There was a state in the Midwest. They voted down recreational use of marijuana. That's where it should be. The use of marijuana should be regulated as same as alcohol, and each state should have the right to decide whether or not they wish to, one way or the other. Federal government shouldn't be going into the state dictating this stuff. Heck, the federal government can't even run the federal government. Why start trying to run the states? In other words, I believe in state rights. The ability of the state to govern itself and the people within the state to be able to govern themselves. I also believe in the Constitution and its amendments. The First Amendment is the greatest affair that our government had. If you remember, the Constitution was not accepted by any of the states until they came up with the agreement for the Bill of Rights. Now, what is treason to the Constitution? Treason to the Constitution is when you totally go against the Constitution, ignoring the will of the people for special interests or minor groups to make benefit yourself in one way or the other. By not following the Constitution as it dictates, you shall follow, but in the contrary, opposite direction. That is treason to the Constitution. That is how the Constitution becomes weaker. Example, the First Amendment. The very, very First Amendment. Let me bring out my Constitution. Got it right here. First Amendment. I love that amendment. It shows you how far our Congress and Supreme Court has gotten away from following the Constitution. Okay, I got the amendments to the Constitution of the United States. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise therefor. That's the first thing they added to the Constitution before the states would accept it. Now, free exercise means what? The ability to exercise your religious beliefs, I believe. So, if you, the people, want to pray in school, guess what? You have that right. Congress cannot say no, neither can the Supreme Court. But yet they try to, but they seem to forget the 10th Amendment when they do things like this. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people. Free exercise of religion is reserved for the states and the people to define, not Congress or the Supreme Court. Here's an example how far our government is drifting away from the very heart of the Constitution. That needs to stop. We need to understand our Constitution, our government, the will of the people the government must follow, and that the Congress is the servants of the people. The people are not the servants, but actually the masters of this government. And leadership is sorely needed. And our candidates do not demonstrate any form of leadership. Politically, they are correct. Political, many have a lot of political experience. But that's not the job of the president. He's not to be a politician, but a leader of a nation, a leader of a people, a leader of a country. And to give direction within the boundaries of the Constitution of the United States for the federal government to follow. We together, you and me, the people, We must bring our Constitution back in line, our government with it. And together we can fix every single problem our nation has right now and will have. But we must do it together. Some of you guys may disagree with me. Some of you women may think I'm totally off the wall. But seriously, think about it. Do you want a leader that's there with you, or you want a leader that's a political party fighting for a political party? That's your choice. Thank you. This is JD. Have a nice day.